Is this the sort of stress that we're seeing a watershed moment for the credit markets?
Well, certainly what we're seeing is relatively sort of unprecedented in the kind of modern history of China's credit markets. To see stress blowing out at two giants of Chinese borrowers, both in the investment grade space and in the high yield space at Choong and Evergrande, that really, we don't really have that kind of precedent. And obviously, this really is a new kind of fresh high for Beijing's campaign to reduce moral hazard and try and curb risks. But of course, another way to see this is really sort of a bookend for a period in kind of Beijing's capital, the history of Beijing's capital markets, where companies were allowed this sort of unfettered access to the capital markets and to borrowing, which in a way prompted a lot of kind of irresponsible borrowing practices and allowed companies to grow at an incredible pace.
So what are the risks for Beijing? Are we seeing contagion risks here?
Absolutely. I mean, certainly this is a very delicate dance that Beijing is trying to do. You cannot reduce moral hazard without allowing defaults. Fundamentally, there have to be more defaults and more failures to try and curb that assumption that the state will always step in. However, at the same time, Beijing is very concerned with maintaining financial stability, and it clearly will step in to try and reduce the risk of contagion. And so far, we've seen them quite effectively manage those contagion risks. However, in some ways, the more resilience, the more maturity that the credit market shows, that may even act as an incentive to actually allow more defaults come through.